The finals, sir.
Yes, to the finals. This is going to be interesting. You have a team that is athletic defensively going against another who is more fundamentally sound defensively. But if it sounds strange because it's rare you ever see it, it seems like the Knicks offense dictates their defense. And normally it's the opposite. But it seems like their offense dictates the defense. It's like when the whole team cooks, it seems like that's when they're really locked in on the defensive end.
All right, sir. So I got some matchups for you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, let's get the first two out the way. Number one, Karl-Anthony Towns versus Victor
Yeah,
Wembanyama.
this so Mr. Towns, we want you want us to think that you a big time big man, right? Now's your time. You will get no bigger, no sterner, no tougher test than one Victor Wembanyama. And you probably wouldn't be able to get him at a better time than now because any iteration of him from this point forth is going to be even better. So you better boogie on him now because if you don't stand a chance anytime you face him after this year.
So the questions for Cat: Can Karl-Anthony Towns drag Victor Wembanyama out of the paint?
B-
Which means Karl-Anthony Towns need to have the ability to do what you always like to say. You the best shooting big man, right? Well, that's gonna be needed in this
Not
series.
only does he have to be shooting well, but I think he has to commit to make him tired. He has to commit to make Wembayama tired, make him work on both ends of the floor. Because that's the only way you're going to tire him out.
And Carl, you have done a perfectly good job this playoffs of not committing stupid fouls. Does that change with Victor Wembanyama
I
staying out there?
agree. This has been the best stretch of basketball Carly Towns has played in his career, and he is one of the big reasons as to why we are seeing the Knicks where they are. But he has to keep that discipline going, no question, because
So
Victor's locked in.
who you get the edge to?
I like how Carlton Towns looks. I do, but I have to give the edge to Victor because I look at him as a guy who he's going to change some shots, and Towns has to force him to focus on him so that Wembanyama is not playing, is not roving to other places. So I don't know if Cat can do it often enough, and that's why I say it's
Okay.
Victor.
All right. Edge to Victor Wembanyama. Matchup number two. This is the matchup I'm looking forward to most. Y'all can have Cat and Victor. I'm looking forward to this. Jalen Brunson versus Stephon Castle.
Ooh. What's going to win out, the athleticism or the bully? That basically is what it is for me. Because Stefan Castle is a guy that he will make your tongue wag. He'll make your tongue wag and he'll make you earn every single point. And I don't know why that isn't talked about. Why his defensive prowess isn't talked about? Because he makes life hard for point guards.
Well, he was making life hell for SGA.
You know, I mean, for backcourts, he makes life difficult for them.
Don't get it twisted. Y'all might have seen SGA went off for
He
30 two times in this
Yeah,
whole
he
series.
got some points, but he wasn't nearly as effective as he normally would be in that series. But that's what Brunson has to look out for because he has to see this guy halted the back-to-back MVP. and did it while still boogieing on the other end his own doggone self. So the Knicks have proven that Brunson doesn't have to go for 30 to win games. I mean, we just talked about it. Brunson didn't even score 20 in the closeout game that they played a week ago, and they blew the Cavaliers out by 37. So it's not contingent on Brunson scoring 30 points, but it would help. Um, what Brunson has to do is he has to actually make Castle work hard on the offensive end. Uh, and I think Brunson's going to have to probably try to be physical against Castle when Brunson has the ball on offense. Tire him out, be physical with him,
and get him in foul trouble.
and get him in foul trouble. That to me, I think that's the way Brunson has to go with it. He has to go that route with it. Otherwise, we see if it, we have witnessed if Brunson goes the opposite way, like if he goes the SGA route. I don't think that's going to. I think we both agree it won't work out well for Brunson if he does that.
I get it as the Jalen Brunson on this one. He's a bigger body. SGA's taller, but Brunson's more stout.
Yeah, I'm saying he's a thicker guy. Yeah,
and just like SGA, he can create ways of scoring.
Oh yeah.
But I'm looking. This is my matchup. I'm looking forward to this one.
But for the Knicks to hoist this for the first time in 53 years, Brunson's going to have to really be physical with Castle. He's going to really have to be physical with Castle.
So one for the Spurs, one for the Knicks. Victor, Brunson. Now let's get down to the nitty gritty, sir. Matchup number 3, the supporting cast. When I say supporting cast, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, and Anunoby for the Knicks. De'Aaron Fox, Devin Vassell, and Julian Champagnie for the Spurs.
Oh, this is where the series might be won or lost. Oh, because both supporting casts, which it's a crying shame that people are not talking about the Spurs supporting cast like they have talked about the Knicks. But the Spurs supporting cast is awesome. It's awesome. I mean, they have a way to look at Victor and say, okay, so you don't really have it offensively. You don't have it with the points. We got you points-wise, big man. All you have to do is just be that presence on defense. And and if we come to you down low, you kick it back out to us. And we'll knock them down. If that perimeter game for the Spurs clicks like it did in Game 7 this past Saturday against the Thunder, the Knicks are going to be in for a long series. But what the Knicks have to do, especially to me, Anunoby and Bridges. Anunoby has to be a big-time presence offensively, physically, and athletically. Bridges has to show why he is one of the best perimeter defenders. And he basically has to rise up to how Vassell and how Fox play perimeterly on defense. He has to actually show, you all talk about their perimeter defensive play. I could do this too. It is key and a must for him to do that.
I'm going to make this plain and simple. Mikal Bridges, you know what the Knicks need from you? They need Brooklyn Nets Mikal Bridges for this.
I mean, when he flew around the court defensively and actually crashed the boards, you mean that
dude who said, Brooklyn, I got you.
That Nets Bridges? Okay.
So hey, I can get buckets too.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't just not just a defensive player. I can get buckets too.
They're gonna need him to get buckets.
Because guess what? Julian Champagnie said I can get buckets from 3.
Yeah.
Devin Vassell said, "I can get
I
buckets
get
too."
buckets for 3 too. And
Now
you know
what?
Fox is saying that. So
I was just gonna say, what will be a nightmare for Knicks fans and Dre? If you still watching, I know you agree because you know your best. But what would be a nightmare if De'Aaron Fox said, "I'm here now"?
yeah.
If
And you,
De'Aaron Fox said, "I'm here now," oh, it's gonna be a problem for the Knicks.
yeah. And be like, yeah, we know this is Victor's team, but I'm the Robin to his Batman. The Knicks should not want De'Aaron Fox to think like that. Because
Because
that Robin has all the green light necessary to cook the way we have seen him cook in past years.
so, but to stop that, I believe that would be a Josh Hart assignment.
Oh, of course, that's a Josh Hart assignment. Oh, all day there's a Josh Hart assignment.
So I'm telling you, Knicks fans, right now, do not let De'Aaron Fox be the one to get in the groove. If Stephon, Vassell, and Champagne do what they did against OKC, you seen it. It is what it is. Well, we can match that. We got Carl, we got Brunson, OG can do his thing, and hopefully we can get a Mikal Bridges from the Brooklyn Nets, not the Mikal Bridges we had been having from the New York Knicks. But if the Aaron Fox adds to the Spurs repertoire, good luck. Good luck. Because now you got all five you got to worry about.
Which that's the issue you have when you face off against the Spurs. You do not want to have the starting five just explode at the same time where it's like, we can't stop any of them.
And then the bad part about it is I ain't even get to Dylan Harper, who comes off the bench. And he a rookie. And he balling like he been here for 5 years already.
And to me, I think that's where the Knicks are going to have to really shine. They're going to have to find a way to score to the point where they can offset not just the Spurs bench, but some of the starting five of the Spurs too. That is a real tall order. Because I think that's what the Thunder tried to do, and they were successful to do it 2 times in their 3 wins. But it is hard to beat that team 4 times when you have 6 or 7 guys that on any given night could give you 20.
See, the Knicks don't have that.
They don't.
You know Brunson can do it. Carl can do it if he's into the game. OG can do it.
He can do it. Bridges could do it too, but you got to hope he wants to do it.
We just starting to see. I was just like, we just starting to see Mikal do it.
Mm-hmm.
You got that one game from Josh Hart, and then all of a sudden, Miles McBride decided to come in and light some threes, and then Landry Shamet started to come in and wanted to light up some threes.
You just mentioned the name McBride. That's the dude that's going to have to. He's going to have to match Champagne. If he's hot from 3, McBride has to be just as hot from 3.
So we got that going on. Before I get to my 4th matchup, sir, the injury to Mitchell Robinson.
Oh yeah.
How does that play a factor?
Huge. Huge, because you need all the big bodies you can to send in Wembanyama's direction. Even if you're sending that body there and he's guaranteed for 6 fouls, you got to use them fouls up. You got to lean on Wembanyama. You got to make him work, force him to be physical. That's where the Thunder failed, and that's why you and I tag team talking about Chet Holmgren, because that was his job to do, and he massively failed. He came up shorter than Mini-Me, and he was supposed to be the biggest reason why the Thunder beat the Spurs. And he was the biggest reason why they didn't. And with Robinson, he was that big body where, okay, we could buy some fouls. You don't have that. That's going to be a huge problem for the Knicks.
I know they're gonna have it. I'm just
No, but I would say they could buy some more fouls, meaning
they're gonna have it. The problem is how effective he's gonna be with that cask. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
well, I mean, you need him for boards. You need him to lean on Wembanyama. Wembanyama could be slick, although I'm not saying that I'm suggesting he can do it. But he could be slick, bang on that cast. You make him remember, oh, shoot, I'm hurt. Very easy to do that.
And then matchup number 4. Mike Brown versus Mitch Johnson.
You know, I think Mike Brown has wanted to come back here so he could prove that he was not a LeBron James errand boy. And I feel for Tyronn Lue because unfortunately people are probably thinking that way about him. But, you know, he now can have the same as Eric Spoelstra in, see, I could coach a team to the finals without that guy. And now he has coached a team to the finals without that guy. And he's done a magnificent job. What I've loved about what he has done with this team, his resume already comes, I'm all about defense. He freed them up offensively, freed this Knicks team up offensively, and they flow a lot better that way. Now, on the other end, Johnson is, I love the fact he has a young crew that plays like veterans. You got a young crew of guys who they don't make the key mistake. They don't have that selfish bone about them. They sacrifice. They're willing to sacrifice part of their game for the whole. They're willing to sacrifice the greater me for the greater good of we. And to get a young team to buy in to do that, that's dangerous. And to get a young team that has this much talent to do it is lethal. And that is going to be a tough task. But if you're going to say who has the edge, technically Mike Brown does because he has more time on the bench. And he has finals experience to boot, both as a head coach and as an assistant coach.
Those are our key matchups going into the NBA Finals. As they like to say, Mr. Johnson, feet to the fire.
Yeah. This is going to be a good series, really. I think it's going to be a surprisingly good series.
Who you got? Feet to the fire.
Feet to the fire. Well, Wise, I love you. You know that. I love your Knicks. I had them coming this far. You know I did. They don't have the horses. I want to say that they'll hoisted Larry O'Brien Trophy for the first time in 53 years. They just don't have the horses because they simply forget the rest. They do not have an answer for Victor Wembanyama. And I mean on both sides of the floor. They don't have an answer for him. And until you find an answer for him, that's going to be a problem for any team in any series. And Karl-Anthony Towns is not your answer.
So Mr. Johnson's picking the San Antonio Spurs. I left one key factor out. I left that out on purpose.
Well, Spurs have home court advantage. So that's not.
No, that's not the Vegas I'm talking about. I'm going back to something that you can't stand. Let's go all the way back to December. Las Vegas.
Oh Lord, that bull tournament.
Who was in the finals for that?
These two, and I know Knicks won it. I know, but one, it's December. Two is regular season. Three, it's for a cup that don't matter.
I don't think.
It's for a trophy that don't matter.
Did y'all see how Victor reacted when Shea Gilgeous-Alexander got that MVP trophy? Did you see what he did in that game one?
That's why I loved it. That's why I was like, I still say that was the right choice because, and the reason why I know this because I witnessed something similar. You remember in 1995, and David Robinson earned that MVP. He earned it, but they even worse than with SGA. This was the time they were awarding MVPs on the floor. So you had David Robinson grab the MVP trophy. Hakeem's on the same floor watching it, and he decided to flambe and cook that man that whole series. That's what I loved, and that's exactly what happened with SGA. Because when Victor saw, oh, I got slighted. Well, let me show you who the real MVP is, and he proceeded to do that. That I love it. I love it.
The Knicks won the Commissioner's Cup or the NBA Cup over the Spurs. Even though most of us can care less about it, Victor can use that as fuel.
And I hope he does.
You beat me for one championship, but you ain't beat me for this one.
Yeah, you're not beating me for the one that really matters. Yeah.
Give me the San Antonio Spurs. And guess what? That means the West and the NBA is on lockdown. Because that Spurs team ain't going nowhere.
No. If they're wise and they sign those guys, it is quite feasible in the next 10 years they can do this 5 times. It is quite feasible. And I mean, I'll put it, I'll even say it this way. It is easy for them to win 5 out of the next 10. Because I think they could win more than 5 if they hold them intact in the next decade.
If the Knicks pull this off, the NBA world can breathe a sign of release because there's a blueprint of getting past the alien known as Victor Wembanyama.
If not, good luck because you're going to be trying to find that blueprint until 2035. And you better hope you find one in between that time now and that time because that dude is only going to get better and only going to round off be more mature. And his game is only going to expand that much more the older he gets because he's not even close to his prime yet. He's just scratching the surface. And he's already in NBA Finals.